Welcome back, man. Thank you to all the people who watched last week's episode. I am still recovering from an amazing experience of having thousands of people come after me in my YouTube comments. Well, that was incredible, man. The podcast has grown, but I want to say thank you guys so much for all the support that come in the last couple of weeks. My guest this week, I am a huge fan of, not only because we're both airmen. She's a former member of the United States Air Force. She was a senior airman at Nellis Air Force Base. She was there for 7 years. And she is one of the top OnlyFans creators on the planet. It is Miss Nara Ford. Nara, how you doing?
Hello, I'm so good. I'm so good. Thank you
so excited to have you here. And Nara, I like the way I describe you to my friends is like, imagine if Pamela Anderson had like RoboCop arms. Because she like you have the most unique like look, because the rest of you isn't all inked up, but you have like these sleeves.
Yeah.
And you have an athletic build too.
Yeah. So when I was in the military, you can only have like 1/4 of the exposed body part done, and I was like, I know I want tattoos, so I did like a half sleeve, and then I knew I wanted to go down more, but I couldn't, so I did another half sleeve, and then I was like queen of pushing the boundaries in the military.
Yes.
So then I got a finger tattoo, and I was like, ooh, I'm going crazy, and then when I ended up getting out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go all the way down, and then I feel like it's kind of weird. No offense to other people, but I feel like it's kind of weird if like your full sleeves stop at your wrists, and so then I was gonna go to my hand, and then I'm like, nah, this shit needs to go to my cuticles. So I'm like tatted all the way down to my cuticles. It was the worst pain I've ever experienced. Like this last knuckle.
Oh my God.
Is a game changer. I'm getting tattoo removal on my inner thigh, like so close to my pussy. Like it hurts so bad. And
who are you going to for the removal?
So I used to, funny story. I actually like went to this place for a couple of years, and they really fucked me up. They actually hypopigmented me, which means so your melanocyte or your melanocyte produces melanin, which gives you color, and they zapped that shit right out. So now I have like these little white dots, and I actually stopped going. I went to school to do laser, and that's when I actually learned what they were doing to me. So I went back, and I'm like, yo, y'all really did me dirty. And then I stopped going for a couple of years. But the last place I went was Clear It Out. It's up in Henderson. The guy up there was super helpful and everything, but I've just had so many sessions that I'm really losing anymore.
Okay, so now my first question, you just brought this up, is your experience. So I'm always curious whenever there's a female as attractive as you in the military, because your experience is very different. So I was a flyer. I flew a KC-135. I was a navigator, and we would go to the intel shop, and we get an intel briefing. And one of the intel officers, she was very attractive, and she had a big titanium wedding ring on. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. How long have you been married? She goes, I'm not fucking married. She's like, do you see these fucking lunatics, these hyenas here on this? Because we were deployed. And when you're deployed, it's even worse,
it's
right? So now you were deployed once to Kuwait. So what was your experience like with the men? How did the other enlisted and officers treat you? I mean, were you this glammed out? I mean,
No. So like I did not like glam myself out until maybe like 2 or 3 years into the military.
Okay.
I was just like regular day. I mean, I've always been hot. I've always like looked good, and I've always had a lot of confidence. So that like carries, but that also just causes so many issues because like I'm such a sweet person. I'm so loving and caring. But these women so I was personnel, which is like HR. I'm like a fucking, oh my goodness.
You got me my DD form 214.
Yeah, right.
That's correct. I still got it with me.
Exactly. So I'm in a female like dominant career field, and they are just the most catty. Like the women were actually terrible. Like they were so rude. I had plenty of supervisors who like went out of their way to like follow me at the gym and be like, you can't wear those little spandex shorts. And I'd be like, show me where I can't wear them. And they'd be like, well, I don't want you to get scabies from being on the bench, because it's dirty. I'm like, girl, like mind your own business.
Scabies? Is this 1934? How the fuck are we getting scabies?
I know, right? So, and it's like, we're in the Air Force gym. It's like a multi-million-dollar gym. You guys clean this all the time. But anyways, so no, actually the women were a lot more aggressive and rude towards me. Thankfully, because of my looks, I was a really good airman. I was really good.
You were an E4, a senior airman?
Yeah, I was an E4. I actually got in trouble and got demoted to an A1C, but we'll get there.
That is incredible. This story is getting even better. You were demoted to an A1C.
Oh my God, yeah. I became a stripper.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Wait. No, let's save that one. Let's save that one. So first thing I want to know. So you know the O card and the E card thing, right? So I did not punch my E card while I was in. I did not sleep with an enlisted person, although there were attempts. So for those of you who don't know, if you're enlisted, you cannot sleep with officers, and if you're officers, you can't sleep with enlisted. In the U.S. Air Force, about 12% of the U.S. Air Force is officers, whereas the Marine Corps is about 5%, and the rest are enlisted. So I can't imagine. Did you ever have a supervisor? Was there an NCO that came?
I had like a lot of people that really flirted with me.
Okay.
And I was so smart, and I would always use it to my advantage. Like the best. So before I deployed, I was at the MPS, which is like
in San Antonio?
No, at Nellis.
Okay.
But I was at the MPS at Nellis. So for those who don't know, that's like the head honcho where all of like the secretaries are.
Yes.
I deployed. It was hell. And then when I returned, I moved to another unit that was actually, I worked at the flight school.
Okay.
Or the weapons school. So the weapons school is all officers. It's all pilots.
Yes.
It's all males.
So you were part of Red Flag. You did Red Flag.
I did Red Flag. I did all of that. I did all of the paperwork for all of those pilots and everything. That was my unit. I probably worked for like, oh my God, I had like 40 or 50 units I handled. There was so many. Nellis is such a big base. I think there's like 6 wings in Nellis. It's huge. But yeah, so no, when I was there, I had the best time. Everyone treated me so well. They like, the guys weren't creepy, but they were like nice, but it was never like too creepy. But down the road, once my occupation changed a little bit, it became creepy.
Okay, so now here we are. We're still senior airmen.
Yeah.
We're stationed at Nellis Air Force Base. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, it's just north here in Las Vegas, right? So now you go. The only place you've ever danced at is the Rhino.
Yeah.
And I mean, real talk, like Rhino is either #1 or top 5 strip club on the planet.
Yes.
And before OnlyFans and Instagram, it was one with a bullet.
Yeah.
Right. For those of you who walked into the Spearmint Rhino in 2011, I say the 100 most beautiful women I've seen in my life, 75 of them were in the Rhino. It was incredible back then because there was no Instagram.
No.
It was a very different time. You went in there, like there were like girls would go there to see other girls because like girls you saw cover models on Playboy were dancing at the Rhino back then. It was incredible. So now you go to the Rhino. What year is this?
2017.
Okay, so you're there in 2017, and you go to the Rhino, and then what's that like? So you're still a senior airman. And you go, did you meet John? Is that who it was?
Yeah, yeah. So I met John. So I guess how I got there is I was deployed and I saved up like a good chunk of change. I was so happy with it, right? And then I was talking to my girlfriend back home she was like a regular civilian, but she was a stripper. And she was like, girl, I made what you made in a year in a weekend. I'm like, you are lying. So then she was like, when you come back from your deployment, try it out. I'm like, yo, that's so like wrong. I could get in so much trouble, but fuck it, right? So yeah, so then I go in and I apply. John hires me. You have to like, so you get in your like outfit and you get in your outfit and you have to walk from one corner to another corner, and I'm in these fucking crazy ass stripper shoes. I'm a little airman. I'm in the Air Force. I'm like, it was so funny. I had a little short like A-line bob. I had no tits. Like I always had an ass, so that was working for me. But man, I was so scared. I'm like shaking, walking in the corner, and I walk back, and he's like, "All right, you're great. You're hired." And then I didn't come back for like 2 months because I right after I got hired, I went and got my tits done. And then
who'd you go to?
The very first time I went to Dr. Cambrero out here, and he was really good. And then I had capsular contracture, so I had to get it fixed. And I ended up having like my boobs done like 4 times now, but just like reconstructed.
Yeah, for sure.
Being a girl's hard, man.
Yeah, it is. You know, in the Air Force, so there was one co-pilot. She had to take off because she got a boob job. So they were giving out free boob jobs in the Air Force.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this because we had a bunch of anesthesiologists with like nothing to do.
Yeah,
so
they needed to practice.
That was a lot of practice. Also veneers, like all my teeth are the veneers from Randolph,
good for you.
Randolph Air Force Base. Yeah, for sure. So that was an interesting thing. So now you do that the first time, and now you go back to Nellis, and then you dance to. And how do they find out? So now you're dancing. You're dancing at the Rhino.
So I'm dancing at the Rhino. So now, right, I'm a stripper, so I'm glammed out. So I'm coming into work with like my blonde extensions. Mind you, I had an A-line bob, bro, because I wanted to wear my hair down in the military. I had an A-line bob, and I'm like, no, bad bitches wear extensions to the strip club. So I was wearing these extensions, and there was just like no blending. It was the funniest thing to like look back at where I've started. But so I was dancing. I was dancing all night. I would get home at like 5 a.m, and then I had to be on base at 7:30. So I barely got any sleep. I would get off work at 7:30, or I would get off work at 5. I would take like an hour nap, get ready for work. I was doing that for like really long time. It's crazy how I managed to keep up with that. So that's my schedule, right? So I'm doing really good at Rhino. I've probably been there for like 3 months now. And one of the guys there, his name is James. He really liked me and he liked the way I looked and all of that. And he told John, he was like, you need to have her do a photo shoot. So John reached out and he's like, hey, I want you to do a photo shoot. I'm like, shit, yeah, I'm down, right? Okay. So he's like, we're going to put you on the TVs and we're going to put you on the billboard. And I'm like, oh God.
That could be a problem.
I'm like, well, that's so cool. I'm going to be on the billboard in Spearmint Rhino. Not only Spearmint Rhino, because like you said, those are like the best clubs. The Spearmint Rhino in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I am the billboard. I am on the TV. I have customers telling me like when they go take a piss, they're like jacking their dick off to my fucking picture above the urinal. I'm like, woo, I made it, Mom. So yeah, so that's going on. Right? So I do the shoot. They slap me up there. And for those of you who don't live in Las Vegas, Spearmint Rhino has the billboard right by the highway that you have to take to get to base. So I think it was up there for maybe like 2 days before I got called in, and they're like, hey, what is this? Blah, blah, blah. And you need to stop dancing. Did you get a second job application? I'm like, no, I'll totally fill one out because, you know, the second job thing.
Yeah. So as officers, we can't do that.
Yeah.
But it's enlisted, you can.
Yeah. So I filled out the second job app and they're like, this isn't going to get approved. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm going to try. So they're like, occupation, stripper. How often do you work there? Shit, more than I work here. Like that's all. And of course, they got disapproved. They told me, they're like, I'm going to give you a direct order to not dance.
Okay, so let's reframe this for other people. So now she is an enlisted member of the United States military at this point. You're an E4.
I'm an E4.
And then it is obviously, what is it? Unbecoming. I forgot what the thing is, but you get an Article 15 for this. I don't think that's what you got.
I did.
You did get an Article 15. Holy shit. Okay, so you can if a commander gives you a direct order, you're supposed to do this thing, and then you're not supposed to do it. Like for instance, I couldn't have facial hair or earrings when I joined the military. I would have gotten in trouble with my commander.
Yes.
So now you do this. And then they see this billboard, and it's kind of hard to get the billboard down, right? You can't really take it down.
Shit, I didn't want to take it down anyway.
Yeah, all right. And you're making a lot of money, but
Yeah.
now the issue is the demotion.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So you get the direct order, and then what do you do?
I got the direct order, and I took my ass to Rhino that night. And
Okay, I gotta say something before we go. I've never admitted this, so I'm gonna admit this. So I used to manage a strip club.
Oh,
yeah. So
yeah.
when I got out of college, I managed a strip club. The last day I managed a strip club was the 21st of February 2004, which is an inconvenient number because I enlisted in the military on the 19th of February 2004. So yes, there was one day I was the DJ at Sugar's Cabaret in Austin, Texas, while I was also an E5 in the military going to to basic school. So I've never told anybody that, but yes, for one day I kind of did skirt the rules there. And then I went to Alabama and they shaved my head. All right, anyway, go ahead.
Welcome to the dark side. Yeah. So they gave me the direct order. I went that night. Got in a lot of trouble. But I had really good leadership. I had really great leadership, and they definitely, had my best interest and made sure I didn't get in as much trouble. They were great people. So, but yeah, I totally got an Article 15. I got demoted.
What's that? Okay, I haven't got an Article 15. What's that like?
I'm trying.
Are you in front of the 06? Like, what is that like?
Oh my God.
The 06 is a full board colonel. So
I was in front of, we had a 2-star. I was in front of a 2-star.
Get the fuck out of here.
It was a thing. It was a thing. I was going back and forth. So I actually got in trouble with the military, like a lot. What is it called? The Airman Council. That's like they have like lawyers for like.
Did you Judge Advocate General?
Yeah. So I had like this lawyer lady, and she's like for the people, right? So she's like helping me out, and she's been helping me out for years because before I became a stripper, I decided like, hey, I want to post cool lingerie pictures on my Instagram. Yeah. And in my bio, I had I don't remember how it went, but I was like something Air Force pays me or some shit like that. And I posted a picture of my fucking butt crack, man. Like it was like a very artistic, actually looking back, it was like so trash. But anyways, my little butt crack was out and I got in a lot of trouble. So I became really cool with a lot of the legal people. Yeah. And they definitely like helped me to just the best ability. And yeah, so just Article 15, demoted.
So but what's that like? Do you remember you're with the lawyer? You're in front of the 2-star.
Are you freaking out? Oh yeah,
are you in your blues?
Nervous. Oh my God, I had to wear my blues for like a whole like week straight to work. The blues, for y'all who don't know, blues are like you're dress
it's like
uniform.
A suit. It's like
it's a suit,
Yeah.
and you have to wear heels, and they're like this big, not the business. So yeah, I was in my blues. I ended up having to do like duty, like I had to fucking stay after and clean up the building. Like I got in trouble a lot. Yeah.
That's incredible. This is such a great story. All right. So now what happens? There's a transition for where your plan was that this one to get out, or like
I knew 100% I'm out. Like this is not for me. Like the stress of the military, the amount of money that I was making for the time that I was spending there, all of that stuff just did not make sense. So I became like really depressed. I was like in a super depressive state. I would go home and just like bawl my eyes out. I'm like, do I want to cry? Do I want to spend my 2 hours before my next job like crying and like being sad, or do I want to take a nap so I can like work harder? Like I was just I was going through it. Were
you living at Nellis on base?
No. So I was actually married before.
Okay.
So when I first moved to Nellis, we were able to stay off base, and then when I got divorced.
Was he enlisted?
No.
Okay.
No.
So if you're married, So for those of you who don't know, there's certain dispensations if you're enlisted and you're married. You can live somewhere else. Yeah.
Exactly. So we were able to live off base, and then after that, when we got our divorce, they were like, "Oh, do we put you in the dorms?" I'm like, "Bro, like there's no way you're gonna put me in the dorms."
Yeah.
And so then thankfully they didn't. Once again, probably because I was a girl, and the person I talked to, it worked out for me. So then I was off base, thankfully.
Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. And then you transition out like 2018. What year?
So when did I get out? 2017, 2018. I think I got out in 18, January of 18, like, or maybe it was 17. But it was the fucking day of my life. My friends got me a cake. I got so fucked up. I was just the happiest camper. I smoked so much weed. I partied so hard. I was like, oh yay, I can finally like live my life and not be here anymore. But I'm so negative. I sound so negative about the Air Force. I am so beyond thankful for it. I wouldn't be the person I am right now like without it. My deployment, holy shit. Like I always tell people, if you work at McDonald's, right, and you're like, fuck this, you can walk out.
Yeah.
In the military, you can't do that. Like you can literally go to prison.
Police for you.
Like it's serious. And so you already have that over your head, and then put you in a deployed location where you're just like stuck in a fucking sandbox that's so small with the same people you see every day. And then my job, I was doing 6 days, 12 hours a day, and what was very frustrating for me is 100% of my job could have been done from Nellis.
Right.
100%. So I was, on top of me being annoyed, I'm like, the military is wasting so much money sending me over here. Like, oh man. So yeah, I learned a lot about myself. I grew an immense amount of patience.
So the discipline, right? You're at Lackland getting your ass beat, going to basic.
Oh
right?
my God. So my very first day of boot camp, my birthday is June 6th, and that was that was my first fucking day.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh yeah. I threw up. My recruiter didn't prepare me with the proper thing to wear. So I'm this dumbass going from Washington State to humid, hot Texas in the middle of summer wearing some tight skinny jeans.
Yeah.
And then you have to eat your food. You have to like eat your food in like 2 minutes tops. So when we go outside and I'm in my tight little skinny jeans, it's my birthday. I'm stressed out. I'm like, what the fuck did I just sign up for? I throw up everywhere. And then I'm in trouble for it. I'm like, oh my God, this is life. Like,
I remember those first couple of days when you shave your head and they're screaming at you, are you enjoying your fucking food? Like you don't have a chance.
Oh, what was it called? The snake pit. Like when you have to walk by and they're like barking at you.
Yeah. So all the enlisted members in the U.S. Air Force go to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. So that's what she's talking about there. That's crazy. These are crazy stories. Now, but you're originally from Washington.
I'm originally from Washington State. I'm from a very, very small town. Shout out Ocean Shores.
Yeah.
I graduated with 23 kids.
Okay. I graduated with 35 kids, but we started with 1,500. Our dropout rate was ridiculous. No,
where are you from?
East Dallas. Yeah, I went to a really fucked up high school, but we hardly any of us. No, it wasn't that. It was almost 100. No, we had never had a graduating class over 100, but we were a 4A school with 1,500 kids, and it was one of the craziest things. Anyway, go back. So we
were 2B. We were
right.
small, super small. So I'm from Washington. I tell everyone Seattle because. So in Ocean Shores, there's no stop lights, there's no street, we have one roundabout, which is everyone hates it. No one knows how to drive it. It's like a tourist town.
Roundabout,
It's like 2 miles long. There's one road into my hometown.
Yeah.
One road. So, and it's on a peninsula. There's like tsunamis and all this shit. There was like a big storm. Everyone was stuck in my town for like 2 weeks. It became like a national disaster because no one could get out. There was like trees and power lines all over the road.
Wow.
Like small Hickville, surf town, USA is where I'm from. Like it's so crazy to look at who I am now and like what I've accomplished and where I've came from.
So this is why I'm asking, is because you are somewhat of an exhibitionist. Did some of that come from your upbringing? Was your upbringing strict, or was what happened in your upbringing that made you who you are today?
So my upbringing was like super wild. I don't know my dad, so that's why I'm an OnlyFans porn star. So I don't know my dad. So
I think you're an OnlyFans porn star because it's a lot of fucking money.
I mean, yeah, right.
I'm gonna go with option B there.
I mean, option B makes sense, but everyone's like, you do that because daddy issues. Like, sure.
You are probably a better businessman than most men that I know that are businessmen.
I know. It's just funny. Like the stigma gets put on women who decide to have like a sexual job that they must just have like a fucked up, like no parents or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I grew up in a like a single mom household for a while, and she ended up getting married. And then, and yeah, my mom's just always been like my best friend.
Yeah.
She's never really been like a mother. She's never been disciplined, like nothing along those lines. So when I was like 12 years old, I went up to my mom and I said, hey, I need some discipline in my life. At 12 years old. Yeah.
You were asking for it.
Yeah. I'm like, I need some discipline in my life and you're not doing it. And I've actually been kind of like saying this for a while now. And I just think that I shouldn't live with you anymore. And I should go live with my aunt. And she was like, yeah, I think so too. And so then I ended up going and I moved in with my aunt and uncle. My uncle was a sergeant. So then everything went from
Army?
No, the cop. He was for the county.
Police
So,
yeah.
So I went from like small town, trailer park, fucking literally like white trash to like a little bit of a bigger town. And I was living with my aunt and uncle who were like, you know, set, and they had like careers, and they were like, my mom like never really like had stuff like that. So they had like this whole life. And so I'm like, oh, everything's going to change for me. And man, I got a lot of discipline, and it definitely changed for me. So, yeah, it was a really good, I'm so thankful for being able to live with them. And I learned so much from them, and I was able to have that father figure in my life and get the discipline and stuff. So I had a really good upbringing, and in terms of how it formed me.
For sure.
And I don't know, I've never met a 12-year-old who was like, hey, yo, discipline me more. Yeah. So I think I've just kind of always had it in me. And then going into the military is just like all formed together to just make me who I am.
Yes. Okay. So that's what I was trying to get at. I mean, obviously, I would say the same thing. When you get out of the military, you come to realize that people they don't do the things that they say they're going to do.
Yeah.
Like you just assume people are going to do what they say they're going to do.
Oh my gosh, and they don't.
And then you get out and you realize, oh, well, it's not the same way. And you talk to other people in the military, and you remember, hey, if we don't go to work, they come for us with police.
They're getting us.
They're coming to get us, so that we understand like a little bit more accountability.
You know, they actually. So now that you said that, one time I was working way too long, and I went home and I was like, I could manage taking like a little hour nap before my shift, and I did not. I slept until we have to be at work at 7:30. I slept until like 9 p.m. and then 9 a.m. and then I woke up to banging on my door. At this point in my life, I was roommates with, she was a tech sergeant, so she was like an E6. I was roommates with her on base, so they knew where I lived because she was also my supervisor.
And she was also stripping.
No. No, shout out Mo, girl. She is such a great person. So we lived together, and they were telling her like, hey, where's your airman at? And she's like, oh, I don't know.
So she knew.
Yo, but I was at her house sleeping because it was my house too. So anyway, so they ended up like, well, we're going to go check. And yeah, the MPs pounded on the door. They're like, why aren't you at where? I'm like, oh my God, I slept through my alarm. But like, bro, sleeping through your alarm, the MPs knocked on my door. I'm like, shit's serious.
Yeah, it's just a different world.
It
man.
really is.
It's not good or bad. It's just different.
It's just very
But when
different.
you take it into the other place, like I'm sure you've probably come to the realization that you have more of a leadership or accountability more of a function of that than some of the people you work with, right?
Yeah.
And like they may look up to you, and like they may understand, hey, we got to do this work every day.
Yeah.
It's not just work, or it's not just fun that we're having.
No, it's
right?
actual work.
So let's talk about that. So we converted that. The other thing I want to talk about is like the first time. I think probably the longest we'd ever hung out was the shoot, the Entertainment World shoot. We hang out with Kindly and Kayla Moody.
Yeah.
That was the first time I noticed that you have these like robot arms. Like it was like, that's the best way for me to describe it because the rest, so a lot of girls will get like a chest piece or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have that. It's just like you have this like athletic physique, and then you have these arms that look like Balrog from fucking. What's the dude, the Ajax from Mortal Kombat, and it's just awesome. Like, and I think it's such a unique look. And I was just like, where did you start with the sleeves?
So I started.
I remember you said in the military.
Yeah, I started. I have this terrible. Can I show you guys?
Yeah.
Look, I have this terrible.
Okay, you have a tattoo on above
right
the bite on her above her pelvis on the right side. Okay.
So it says strength. It says it's like an infinity sign, and it says strength. It's like not a tramp stamp because it's to the side, right?
Yeah.
So that was my first one, and I got it like right when I moved out to Vegas. I was like 18, and I actually had to get it done like 3 times because it was just the person didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and then it looked like infinite length instead of strength. I'm like, bro, like get it together.
Yeah.
And then so I did that. I didn't get another tattoo for maybe like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I got with this guy, and he was like blasted.
Yeah.
He had his arm. He was in the military too, but his arms, his stomach, his back, like everything. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be me.
Yeah.
Oh man. So thanks to him, I ended up going to his artist, and I got. You can't see it anymore because I covered it up. I've actually covered up like all of my old work, but I got flowers right here, and then. Like 2 months later, I got another one. A month later, I got another one. I ended up getting, I think, like 15 or 16 within like 14 months.
The plan was always to have 2 sleeves.
So I wanted to, but I knew because the military, like I couldn't.
Yeah.
And when I started doing my tattoos, I was like, woo, go Air Force, bleed blue. Like I'm going to do this for life. So I didn't plan out my tattoos to like be fluid all the way down.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they are fluid. It's like one contiguous thing that goes down to each one of your arms.
So I ended up, after I got out, then I was like, okay, let me fix my shit. Let me not look like a coloring board anymore. And because a lot of mine, I actually found this guy who at the time I thought was really good, and he was really cheap, and he just got out of prison, and he was doing my tattoos in his apartment unit down by the Strat. So yeah, like that's
you talking about the Section 8 housing right there by the Stratosphere?
Yes, he just got out of prison. He had like one of them fold up chairs and like a janky table, and like the shit was, clean, quote unquote. But so he ended up doing like 4 or 5 tattoos on me. I think we did all of those within like 1 month. And then I stopped, and I didn't do anything for a really long time. I got out of the military, and I was like, what am I doing? I was getting my tattoo removed. I'm like, do I want to get all of them removed? Like, how do I want to do this? Because I don't like the layout of them. And then some time went on, and then as far as like my occupation, a lot of people don't like tattoos, but I have too many to have like a few.
Well, are we talking about OF or are we talking about the military?
Stripping.
Oh, stripping.
At this point, we're talking about like stripping. So all the old white men with money, they're like, you look too crazy. And
it's so funny you say that, because when I was a DJ at a strip club and girls would come, I used to have Sunday daytime shifts. So girls never stripped before would come in, and they'd be like, what do I say? I was like, close your eyes and imagine you are an old white man with money. That's what I always say. You are an old Led Zeppelin. Just think about all the things, old white man with money. That's what I would tell them.
Yeah, it works out for me too, because like I love talking. So old people, they just want to, they want to have fun too, but they just love talking. So I be sitting here learning. I want to learn about all of the stories you have.
For sure. So you're just a good listener, which helped you.
I'm a really good listener. I'm a good talker too. Like, so when I was dancing at Rhino, like I don't really know that many people that could say they actually like got a dance from me, because I was always like, oh yeah, let's go in a VIP, and then we would be there for hours, and all of a sudden they'd be like, yo, we haven't even danced yet. Like we're just talking. I'm like, yeah, I know.
That's incredible.
And we would just go.
And you wouldn't even dance. They'd just sit there and pay you for your time.
Yeah, like sometimes I'd take my tits out, and then we just sit there and talk. But don't get me wrong. There's times where, you're like, oh, I just want to talk. This is going to be a great you're like out on the floor with them, and you're like, oh, great conversation. They're going to talk in there. And then you get in there, and they're a whole different fucking person.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I'm going to be dancing the whole time.
Right.
Be out of breath. It's hard.
No, for sure. Okay, so now this is probably the first time I ever saw you. You became like one of the alphas over at the Rhino, right? Because your picture was everywhere. I didn't even know who you were. I didn't know your name, but I was in there eating a hamburger or whatever. And it's like, oh, there's Nara Ford for the 16th time. There she is. It's Nara. Mark Alms is in there making me drink alcohol. And then we're with Reggie and Junior and all this John and all those guys. Shout out to the guys over at the Rhino. And we're sitting there and I see you up there. Now you're out of the military. Are you just making a killing at the Rhino? What's going on? And you said you start throwing that money into real estate.
I'm killing it. I am fucking killing it at Rhino. Shout out Rhino. I love you guys. You're my family. Killing it. So I'm like, what am I doing with all of this money? So I get into real estate and I flip a house. And my first house I purchased and flipped with the whole idea of like flipping it, right, and selling it. So the budget was. There was a budget, there was like a deadline, all of this stuff, and it went really well. And then I did that, and then a couple years go on, and I'm like, I'm ready to do this again. So I just did it in 2019, and I renovated the fuck out of this house. This shit looked so bad, and I brought it all the way down to the bones, to the foundation. There was like multiple levels, and I had a whole backhoe like in my living room. I have like 20-foot ceilings, so like literally the backhoe is like in there, and it was just so fun. I love renovating. I love turning something into like I love that super modern style.
Yeah.
I made it extremely modern, and but the thing that sucks is, so this was my home, right? So fuck a budget.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So that part, I live and learn. So now
so this is your first flip.
So this is my
and you put too much money into
it. It was my second one, but it was for like personal. Like the purpose of this was to like be my home, and then do like a bunch of content and stuff like that. So
hold on. So now content.
Yeah.
So wait, the OF has started at this point.
Yeah.
So
OF, started.
So you were early adopter OF.
I actually used to have my own like website where I did everything that I do on OnlyFans. I had streaming, all of that. Okay. So I've been doing that for like 5-6 years now.
Okay.
When OF came out like 3 years ago or whatever, 4 years ago now, I got off of my own platform and I went, or my own website, and I went on their platform because obviously they have so many more people than what
networking.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's really interesting to me? So when OF got underwritten by that bank and they were going to go IPO, what I believe happened is the bank was like, listen, there's no publicly traded porn company, so we need you to take the porn off. Yeah. That's what I think happened.
Yeah.
I work in finance. That's what I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. And then what happened was, obviously when that happened, there's memes everywhere. People are like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, OnlyFans is not going to have porn. So Chantel Monique was sitting right where you were sitting. She was like 2019 Playmate of the Year. And she's like, I don't even do nude and I've never done porn, but it was terrible for us. I was like, why is it terrible for you? She's like, for those girls to leave the platform that were doing hardcore was going to hurt us also. Mm-hmm. Like it was going to hurt everybody on the platform when that happened, and people were panicking. There was all these jokes. And then of course it comes back because I think whoever the underwriter was like $1 billion. Yeah. $1 billion. They had never heard that word before because some of these other porn companies, they're not $1 billion companies, but OnlyFans is. OnlyFans did $3 million in revenue one year, or $3 billion in revenue one year. So that was I think an eye-opening thing for a lot of people to understand that how much money was at stake. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I feel like with what you're saying, so I feel like they were like, hey, we need some investors. We want to go public, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, we're not going to do that. Like, drop it. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay, so we'll drop it. And then their whole value, I totally agree. Like, I think their value dropped. And then they were like, oh, this isn't going to work out. We need it back. You're not going to go. Yeah.
Yeah. So. I think that billion word kind of woke some people up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, things are different. So now you're on there, you start you switch over to OF.
Yep.
Okay. Now, when you build a house that you want to do content in, what are the, like, is it the way the windows are set up? Do you have soundproofing?
It's aesthetics. It's aesthetics.
Right,
it's all the aesthetics. So, I just wanted like very good lighting. So I have a lot of windows. I don't have any curtains in my house. So when that fucking sun comes up early, like, hello, here I am. But I have like an eye mask.
That's why you're not out at the club with me. Now I understand. I was like, I never see Nara out ever.
No, I do not go out. Like, I went out so much when I first moved to Vegas.
Yeah.
I was 18. I got divorced at like right before I turned 21. right before I turned 20, I got divorced. I was going to the clubs fucking nonstop with my military ID.
Yes.
I would change it from 93. I would make the 3 into like a 0 with a Sharpie.
Yeah.
And then I would get into the clubs. One time they caught me. Oh my God, I was so fucking scared. But so yeah, I used to party a lot. So I don't know. And then once I started stripping, like that becomes your job. So now I'm really never out.
Did you drink when you danced?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Did that become a problem?
So there was this like point in my life where me and my girl, we would be getting ready because I had like a little dancing partner. We would be getting ready to go to the club, and we would buy the 1.7 liter Don Julio, right? We would
Don Julio.
Yes,
Fuck.
we would finish this on Thursday, Friday,
God.
and then Saturday we would finish it, and we would go to the liquor store and get more, and then we would go to work. Like, we're just drinking this while we're getting ready.
Yeah,
insane. So 1.75 liters in two and a half days. Then we would go to work, and
did you do the 10 to 5? What shift did you have?
No, I didn't have a shift. I would just go.
Oh, you just.
Thanks, John.
This is the alpha girl at the Rhino.
Thank you, John. Yeah. So we would get fucked up, go to work. Right when we got to work, we would get our shots from our favorite bartender, Tony. Hi.
Yeah.
And then, those things are so deep. So I think by the end of a night, between what I would drink at home and then what I would drink at the club with people, because when you go into VIP, you have to get a bottle.
Yeah.
And you just got to drink it with the people. They want to do that, right? I would probably end up drinking, like, I'm not even lying, maybe 25 to 30 shots a night.
God dang.
Crazy. Like, my tolerance was through the fucking roof. Like, it was insane. So when I stopped dancing, I actually didn't really stop drinking like that until I stopped dancing.
Yeah.
And then that I was like, oh, I can drink, and no, I can't do that anymore. I cannot do that anymore. I get way too fucked up. I don't know who I think I am, but not that person.
So here's the thing. So I knew that you had become big on OF. And I knew how much girls were making on OF. And then I saw you went back to work at the Rhino, and that was surprising to me that you were still doing both.
Yeah.
What was that?
Because I am a young, hot girl. So why just cap myself?
Right.
So in the beginning, it was kind of overwhelming. I was making a lot of money in both places, but I was making a lot of money on OnlyFans. So I'm like, these people aren't touching me. It's so easy. I just have to make content. So I was
like, I actually think that's hurt at gentlemen's clubs across the world.
I
think OnlyFans has absolutely done some damage.
I fully agree. So I was so great with that, and then just making content all day, waking up, getting ready, like being an influencer and OnlyFans person, you have to do so much. Like, it's insane, and people are like, oh, what do you do? But it's fucking crazy. Like, the amount of stuff that it takes to remain looking good and be up on all the research you have to do to know what kind of videos. And like, in the beginning, I was doing jack off instructions, and then I learned that there's cum eating instruction, and there's just like all these different things. You just have to keep doing research. So it took up a lot of time. And
hashtag cum eating instructions. If you made it to this point of the video, that's what I want you to write there.
Cum eating instructions. Cum on your stomach. I want you to lick that shit up.
Gracious,
I
Lord
love it.
Jesus. Okay,
I fucking love it.
That's awesome.
So I was doing good. I was super, super fucking busy. And then I really got a hang of my schedule and making content. I make a lot of content ahead of time, so I have a lot. And then I'm like, okay, I'm back to like having my time. So why not double dip? Like, why not go back to the strip club? Because this is a nighttime job. OnlyFans is
but it's also
job.
different for you, because I'm sure whoever the biggest spenders in the Rhino, they're going to send them to you.
Yeah.
Right. So your experience going to the strip club is probably a little different.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier. Again,
thank you again, Rhino. I love you guys.
I'm literally talking to Ronaldo and Shaq and Michael Jordan at the same time right here. At the Michael Jordan of the Rhino. All right, so now this is a transition that you make, because you brought up doing boy-girl stuff. Mm-hmm. The first time, because you're the first, I have Nicolette Shea is going to come on, I have Jessa Rhodes is going to come on, but you're the first guest that I've had that's done that.
Oh, yeah.
And so my question is, the feeling the first time you upload that, what is that like? Is it nerve-wracking? And for those of you who understand, boy-girl, we're talking about hardcore porn. The first time you upload that, what is that feeling like?
Your heart's racing. I'm like, oh my God, does my asshole look nice? Like, are people going to like this? Is this position good? Am I stucking my stomach? And it's like crazy the amount of stuff.
So you're worried about people judging you, not that you can't go back from this.
Yeah, no.
You don't care at all.
Oh my God, no.
Okay.
Like, I do not care about like other people's opinions or
beautiful.
I mean, everyone cares, but I don't apply enough energy to actually like make my self-care, you know?
Okay.
So yeah, no, I wasn't worried about that at all. I definitely think because I was a stripper for a while, and I was a stripper in the military, so I got so much like ridicule and stuff that I can fucking handle anything.
Got it.
So it doesn't matter, like, bitch, I made a lot of money from it. Like, okay.
Yes,
so,
you did.
so I don't
Yes,
really,
you did.
yeah, so I don't care. So I was doing like nude photos and stuff, and then I was doing solo videos, and then you just keep going. So then I was like, bring the dick here. And then hey, I just did my first anal video. Ooh, if y'all want to watch that, it's fucking amazing.
And if you go to my OnlyFans, you will not find an OnlyFans or an anal video, because I haven't done my first one yet. Sorry.
I just did my first anal video. I did anal like when I was younger, because like maybe a boyfriend wanted to try it, and that shit is just like.
What's that discussion like? No, like this most recent time. What's the most? You get up, you're eating your cornflakes, and you're like, you know what? I have an idea, and then you have like you write this out on a whiteboard. Like, how does this work out?
No, so for a really long time, like I have a really big ass, so everyone is always like ass play, ass play, ass play. I'm like, bro, it hurts. Like, let me ass play you. Like, I'm down to. I need someone to peg on the regular. If anyone's interested in submitting an application, I'm looking for a peggy.
Do you see what we're trying to stimulate the economy? If you're looking to get pegged, Nara Ford, Jesus, oh my God.
I am ready for
Sorry,
it.
Mom. Let's go ahead. Okay, so yeah.
But yeah, so
Okay, so now the first time you so see
leading up to the boy girl.
Here's the thing, right? So like everyone else is gonna ask, if you go on, and I love No Jumper, but if you go on those places, they're gonna ask like hardcore porn questions. I don't want to know that. I mean, I do, but like the main thing I want to know is, what was that like before the first time you take the little sticky dildo and stick it up against the wall or stuff like that? Like I want to know, like you go to the store and you buy this and you're like, I have made a decision that today on OnlyFans I am going to film this. So like, what is that whole day like? What did you set up to do that?
So you go to you started drinking.
Yeah, there you go. So that's a detail I want to know.
Yeah, I start drinking. My very first time I ended up filming like my solo videos, which was like the whole beginning. I ended up filming like 7. I locked myself in my bedroom and just got really drunk and just kept making them. And then towards the end, like video 7 was super vocal and super wordy and stuff like that. The first one, I'm like, oh.
You use a tripod with an iPhone?
Yeah,
use a DSLR for anything?
No, I use a tripod with an iPhone.
For everything?
Yeah, my girl, let me put you guys on something. I don't know if people know about this, but did you know, I think it's probably just me that didn't, but you can change the video settings to 4K.
Yeah,
and
so you do 4K.
60?
You can do 4K at 60. Everything past the 12, yeah.
Oh, God.
The problem is OF, I don't think does 4K.
No, all the videos transfer up. And
they do in 4K? I thought they degrade them.
I don't know.
Maybe they do 4K. Okay.
But yeah, so I just use that, and my girl Lexi put me on that. Thank you, girl, because that shit helped make my videos so nice. So yeah, I would just set my phone up on the tripod, and I made my way to the sex store and picked up some dildos, and then brought them back and just busted out a bunch of videos. And I just got more comfortable towards the end. And then after I did them all, I waited like a couple days, and then I like put them together. And then, but I'm talking like 5, 6 years ago.
What do you edit with?
I just used, at that time,
iMovie?
No, it was like iClip. I don't.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Some random thing, and I would like clip all the videos very small and then add them all together. It was like the most awkward fucking process.
I mean, the thing is, like, you understand, like, you're talking about this, and to you, it's second nature. This is a multi-million-dollar operation that we're talking about here. There's a lot of people watching this right now that they're like, they're not ever going to get to the point where you are, and they're like, this is very interesting to me. So it's always like the technology, all the things that you're doing, a lot of stuff that you have to do. Now, what happens after that? You clip them all together, and then what happens?
Clip them all together, you rewatch it, and make sure you don't look crazy in anything, or you're not saying no weird shit. And then clip it all together, and then you make a nice little caption for it, and you upload it, and then you pray for the best.
Do you copy captions from other people? Because the captions are the most vulgar shit I've ever read in my entire life.
So in the beginning, I was like, oh, like let me make my own.
Lots of eggplants and squirt emojis.
Yeah, right. In the beginning, I would make my fucking captions so long and so descriptive, and then I realized that like people could just get off on that caption alone. So I'm like, oh, let me tone that down. I've gone through really long captions, really short captions, and then after like maybe a year of like I'm going to do this how I want to do it. After that, I'm like looking at all these other girls. I'm like, what are you saying? Oh, that's good. Copying. I have a whole note of like all of these captions that I've seen other girls use. And I'm like, that's good. That's good. Like, bitch, you're probably never going to see it on my thing. So it doesn't really, I don't care. Like, it's just crazy. A fucking caption, bro.
And do you do it all yourself? Like you choose what gets shown, what gets previewed, what gets blurred, all that kind of stuff?
It's a lot. It's a full job. Like you have to, you're doing your marketing, you're doing your editing, you're doing your filming, you're doing your design, you're doing your style. You have to go get all your stuff. You have to plan your video. There's so much that goes on to it.
And you're doing all this with an iPhone.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Okay, now the next thing. So we'll go back to you. The first time you upload Boy Girl, when you decided to do that, what was that like? The transition for that?
So it was, I just wanted to make more money. Like I was doing really well with just solo and nude. Well, I was doing really well with nude.
Well, like this would have been like 2018, 2019?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like the beginning of 2018.
Okay.
So I was doing really good with nude, and then I'm like, well, let me fuck myself, and then that did so much better. And then after a couple,
so much better. How much? You can be a fraction. Like how much better?
Oh, at least doubled. At least doubled.
Okay.
And then I was like, well, let me incorporate boy girl, and
so from this point forward, we're just going to talk about hypothetical penis or hypothetical man. So we do boy girl with hypothetical person.
Hypothetical person.
Yeah, and then so you decide hypothetical person.
Yeah.
Right. That you're comfortable with. Yeah. Probably previously.
Yeah. Right. I'm like, hey, I really think that this would be a great thing and I'll make a lot of money. Do you mind recording this with me? And they're like, yeah, for sure.
See,
like
you don't understand. This is fascinating to people.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know because from the standpoint, it looks like it's a goddamn fairy tale. It's like, hey, let's just go fuck the Uber driver. But it's like not. There's so much more that goes into it.
There's so much. You have to find a cool Uber driver that like doesn't, and then there's a lot. But so I found someone and we made our first video, and editing it and all of this was just so nerve-wracking. And then they were super cool, agreed to do it. Everything was great. Put the video up there, and it just did so well.
Now, fraction, how much better is this video now doing?
So now I would say at least like 4 times.
4x.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, it was a really big jump, but you also have to remember this was in the very beginning of OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So I had already been doing this. Like I had already. I didn't release it to such a large platform, but when I had my own website,
your own website, you did.
I had Boy Girl, but it wasn't. I'm not sending it to fucking 80,000 people.
Got it.
I'm sending it to a lot smaller because the networking is like a lot different.
So now does the subscriber base increase vociferously when you start doing boy girl?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, can you give it like numbers, like how much more?
I don't know. I probably, when I first was doing OnlyFans, I think I maybe had like 5,000
subscribers
or something. And then when I very first, maybe like 2,000 subscribers. And then after I started doing boy girl, it just went up so fast. I think after maybe like I don't know, a month of doing boy girl, I was already up to 20,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So then it just kept going up. But then everyone else started doing boy girl.
Yeah.
Like everyone else started jumping on the wave. And then shit got really fucked up because these people who don't know what they're doing, like, I'm a stripper, so I have like a stripper mentality. I have like a financial mindset. These other girls, they're like, oh, I need to make $10, so here's my pussy spread open for $10, and then just fuck the whole game up for everyone. So all of that like happened to OnlyFans people as well, and I feel like that kind of happened in the beginning.
So what you're saying is your first boy girl, you charged like what, 100? And then,
my first boy girl, I ended up charging, when my very first boy girl, like on my website, that shit was like $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah, and then on OnlyFans, the max you can sell something for was like $200
because of the Bella Thorne thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I way before that.
Before that. Okay.
Yeah, the max you could do I think was like $200 still. So I would have people send like $200 3 times, and I would sell my boy girls for $600.
Okay.
Now, shit, come over and get a boy girl video for $20.
$20.
Come get it.
There we go. Swipe up. All right. So now you do that, and then now compared, if you were going to go through and just the different categories, let's just talk analytics here, the different categories of JOI, all this different stuff, which one pays the most comparative to the other ones?
So unfortunately, this fucking anal video I just did.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, hold on. No, here's the thing. Does it get progressively less, or does it stay constant? So first boy, girl, second boy, girl, third boy, girl. Does it get progressively less?
What get less?
The amount of subscribers. Does it go up? Does the novelty go away? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would say the novelty definitely goes away. I've had my loyal fan base for, I've been on Instagram really for like 6 years.
Yeah.
So as many people as I already have, they're on there. So all of the new people really just come from like networking and all of this stuff. And then I feel like
the majority of feeder to your OF is going to come from IG and Twitter, or just mostly IG? Or
IG and Twitter. My Twitter has been deleted. My Instagram has been deleted.
That part drives me fucking crazy because Twitter was letting you do anything.
Twitter was
and I don't know
so
why they stopped. And now, just to not say for work, I don't understand why this happened. What, Reddit? Are you getting a lot of traffic from Reddit?
Yeah, I do Reddit. But yeah, I would definitely say just like mainly Instagram and Twitter.
Because I mean, real talk, for those of you not watching this, you could be a model if you didn't do any of this. If you didn't strip, if you didn't do any of this, you'd still be a model.
Yeah.
You could still definitely be a model. So now you do this, and so what I'm saying is there's a reason why you have almost 1 million followers on Instagram. It's because you're very pretty outside of the fact that you do this. So now this situation happens. Now, which one of the anal one, because it's the first one, did a lot.
Yeah.
Compared to the other ones, how much?
So like leaning up to the anal one, I did like a butt plug, like sex tape.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of like a DP. And
hey, Mom, go ahead and turn this off. Mom, let's go ahead and stop. I know you watch the podcast. We're not going to watch any more of this. Love you, Mom. I'll see you on Christmas. Go ahead.
See you soon.
See you soon.
So yeah, I started with like a butt plug, and I'm like, fuck, like this is not the business. And then, my people just really ask for it, and I really like making my people happy. Like I spent a lot, like I said, when I was stripping, like I'm not dancing, like I'm talking, like I love getting to know the people that like love me and want to support me. Like we're in this together, bro. So like you want to know about me, I want to know about you. So I love that. And so yeah, they kept asking, and I'm like, oh. So I don't know. They've been asking since I've been in this industry. People have been asking for anal, but I just decided it was time.
I just asked you to do a podcast. I wasn't going to go that far. You know, I hope I wasn't too presumptuous.
Shit, is that where? So I just decided it was time. And after I did the little butt plug one, I was like, okay, I'll do like a full blown anal video. And it turned out really good. It got really, it did great. It's now my best video. And
proportionally, the other ones, how much more is this one doing? Do you know?
I don't know. It was definitely like 2 times higher than my regular boy girl.
Okay.
Because I like regular boy girl is just like a sex tape or a blowjob. But yeah, it's like 2 times higher. But people just really love the ass. Oh, they really love it.
The way you describe it is just it sounds so painful.
It is not the business. And I'm like, I specialize in BBC.
Okay.
Do you guys know what BBC is?
No, we have no idea what that is.
Big black cock.
Okay. All right.
So I specialize in that.
Yes. All right. So now here's the thing. You're doing that, the hypothetical man, okay? You collab with other people.
Yes.
And now how does the collab work? Because I'll be full disclosure, I've been there sitting next to girls when you have messaged them. So
really?
I'm somewhat aware of how your collab works.
Yeah. So I love women. Like I really love stripping because I fucking love ass. Like I love women. So if I see a beautiful girl, like I am really quick to be like, hey, do you want to film together? Like, well, I do my research first, and I'm like, are you going to show me your titties, or are you going to let me eat your pussy? Like we're doing one or the other.
Like how far is this going to go?
Yeah, exactly. So I try to aim for all of the people who are gonna like let me sit on their face and stuff like that.
Okay, so here's the thing: the consideration of whether or not they're gonna do a girl thing with you or a JOI where there's no like sex, or they're gonna go even further and do GGB.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you make that determination? So it's the first thing you check, and
so I check what they do because
it's like you're back in HR.
Yeah. Right. Literally, I'm out here studying.
She's doing HR again. She was doing HR in the military, and now she's doing human resources for people to come film with her.
Thank you.
You're
Air
an
Force.
HR specialist.
I appreciate you, Air Force. So I do research and see what they do. So if someone only does like nudity and they're just like so sexy, like I'm not going to miss out on the opportunity. I'm going to shoot my shot. So hey, like let's flash our titties together. Maybe we can do like a nice sensual video, like whatever you're comfortable with. But I always try to aim for girls who are extremely comfortable in everything, because that's obviously what makes the most money, and I don't really care to like waste my time or yours. I'm just looking for like fun, attractive women. Like I like having a good time. Like afterwards, like I always like go out to eat with the girls.
Okay, yeah.
Like actually have like a good time. Like I want the chemistry to be there. Like I don't want like some weird
So
like.
can I tell you a story? So
Yeah.
I'm almost exclusively date bisexual women, and sometimes we'll bring a girl home, and then afterwards, and this one girl I was with, she was just like would not call the girl the next day, just like get her the fuck out of here. And I'm like, hey, did you get home safe? Is everything okay? Like I want to take him to dinner, and the girls in the room like, get that bitch out of here. Like I was like, God damn, man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's nice. You at least take them out to dinner.
Yeah,
afterwards.
no, like I want to take you to dinner. Like I want to be your friend.
Yeah.
I want to like fuck on the regular.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just
I would be very interested for you to get your testosterone checked. I would be very, very interested, Nara.
I know, we should do that.
To
Can we
get
do
your
that?
numbers, to go to one of these TRT places and get your test checked, because you have
report
you have
back.
really nice skin, and you seem to have somewhat of a drive, and you don't seem to have trouble focusing.
Yeah.
And those tend to be signs of people with higher testosterone, and you also are like ripped. So I'm just curious. I would be very interested to see what your testosterone
yeah,
levels are.
you know, I'm super ripped. My friends get really mad at me because I eat like
Yeah.
I cheat a lot. I mean, I work out, but I cheat a lot. But I think I have like a gluten intolerance, so I eat a lot of food, and then my stomach just gets so bloated.
Yeah.
But I look like I have like a turtle shell on. Like I look like, you know, those men who are like in their 40s, 50s, and they used to like be really buff, but they have a six pack.
With the HGH gut.
Yeah. I like get one of those, but I'm still like super ripped when it's crazy.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe testosterone.
That I'm just gonna go on a limb here. I will bet you that you have high testosterone.
We'll
for a
figure
female.
it out.
Yeah, we should check that
We're
out.
gonna
It's a
figure
good
it
thing. It's nothing but a good thing. Okay. So now we do this situation. You reach out to girls to collab.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation? Because I've seen this with my own. Like, listen, Tucci Cash is a very, very influential person. She's gonna be the fucking mayor someday.
Yeah.
That girl makes a lot of money.
Yes.
You might too. All right.
Yeah.
Right. That you guys make a lot of money. Has it ever been the first time a girl goes past a certain line was with you? Do you understand what I'm asking? She comes, or has she come over there saying, I'm going to do girl, and then I want to go and then she goes to another level that she didn't think that she was going to go before?
No, every girl.
The parameters are described beforehand, and then that's essentially what you're doing.
Yeah. Like we definitely like plan out like, hey, let's do like a double-ended dildo video, and then once we're done with that, let's do.
But has that ever been the first time they've ever done a double-ended?
No,
Okay.
I don't think.
So you've never popped the cherry on any of these girls for the first time they've ever
So
done
people
any
are
stuff?
like scared of me.
Okay.
Yeah, they think I'm like super intimidating, and then my tattoos probably make it a little bit more. But I'm really sweet. I eat your pussy really good. So just come my way. Come my way, and I'll make you come. You make me come. We make money from it. It's like the best. It's like the best. Like, come on.
What the fuck?
Just be cool. Just have cool vibes. Like,
Oh my God.
I need the energy. I need the energy to be there.
God.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh.
So
that's
so right
terrific.
here, this is how I find my people.
Yeah, no.
Slide in my DM, baby.
Dude, that's definitely okay. Now, here's the next thing: collabs. How often are you talking to them? I imagine a ton of girls are coming after you to do it, because let's just be real. Like, doing one video with Nara fucking Ford is going to blow up their OnlyFans, especially if they just started.
Yeah, I have this girl. She's so sweet. I love her so much. She's uber successful on OnlyFans, and yeah, she's uber successful. And her and I and this other girl have a three-girl threesome together, and it's just her best. Her people love it. Like, everyone just loves it. But it's because our chemistry. Like, I love collabing with people, but like I just really want to stress like the chemistry, like the energy needs to be there. So her and I, we were like super good together, and her people loved the video because it's so natural. Like, it's not like I actually like really made her come like numerous times. Like, it's not like a fake thing, because I don't want like the fake video.
So this would be different from, say, like Brazzers. With Brazzers, you're just given a call sheet and you're like, this is who you're working with. You may have never seen this person before, but in your situation, you have chemistry with this person.
Chemistry.
This is at your house. You're filming on your phone with your motherfucking lights. This goes on your OF, right? You like this girl. You're excited. The day before, you're like, I'm going to get to go do things with this female. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm very happy about doing this. That seems like a much better way than like doing, Brazzers. They take all the fucking money and then.
Yeah, I've never done like an official porn scene, but I have friends who have, and it just doesn't sound enjoyable to like be
like 12
pounded.
Hours of, 12 hours of filming, and
and their dicks are really big in porn. Like, they're big. Like, I don't need that. I don't need that. No.
Notice I don't have any comment there. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to respond to that. I
like,
don't know what to say.
They're just
I don't need it either. I guess I don't need them to do that to me either.
Like I watch Blacked. I watch Blacked all the time. And
do you want to go to AVN with me?
Yeah. Let's do
so
it.
we'll do. Do you want to walk around and just do interviews with people?
Yeah.
So I go every year. They give
Where
me a
is it
press
now?
pass. So it's gonna be back at I believe at Virgin. I go every year because I get a press pass and I walk around. I got a camera crew follow me around.
Well,
dude, fucking Black. You brought that up. Nikki Ben. So she's one of the spokespersons. She gets up there and speaks. And Madison Ivy's a good friend of mine. I'll introduce you to all of them. It's for those of you who want to come visit Vegas for something different, then come to the AVN Awards.
Come to the AVN.
It is so insane. Like
and
the things
girls are hot.
Well, some of them are. There's a lot of them that aren't. There's a lot of when you go to MFCs, like they're like, oh, I don't know what's going on here, but you can't stop watching.
No, but everyone has a type. Everyone has a type. Yes. When I became a stripper, I'm the best thing I've ever seen, right? Yeah. So I'm a stripper. I go up to someone. I'm the best thing I fucking know. And they're like, no, I'm good. I'm like, what? You're good? So, I mean, that only took like fucking 2 nights to figure out and get over. And then it's just like, you can't be upset with someone that doesn't have an attraction to you because everyone has a type. Like everyone has a type.
Well,
so
we talk about evolution on the show a lot. And one of the things is like, if Homo sapiens only liked one type, then we wouldn't have the variety of people that we have. So like, you've all met, I know a lot of, like I grew up with nothing but African-American dudes and a lot of them only like white girls. A lot of white girls only like black men. I know a lot of Asian men who only like black women. I know a lot of black women who only like white men.
Yeah.
Like the difference between, or the variety in what we like, that's what makes our species special. Because if it weren't, we'd be this one monochrome, everyone would look the same. Right, exactly. And that's natural selection selected for that variety. Does that make sense? Butt man, boob man, you know what I'm saying? Blue eyes, green eyes. That's the reason. The variety allows it. So now the species, if something happens, like a pandemic or something like a real pandemic, I'm talking about like the Spanish flu. I'm talking about like the Black Plague.
Not this fake shit we're going through.
Here we go. Let's go, man. We just get the platform. No, you're right. But like that's the reason why. It's the variety. So that's what you said. Like I say the same thing. Like some people are just not into the 6-foot brown Colombian man. They just don't. They're just not feeling me.
Yeah.
Some people are, and it just makes a difference. I know some guys literally anything but white girls. And like, really? Anything but white girls, right? Or some guys, it just depends on what it is that they like. I haven't dated a girl that hasn't had a boob job in 10 years. So like, we're all just different. You know what I'm saying? So I totally understand.
Exactly. Everyone likes what they like.
Yeah.
Some people like some really weird shit.
They sure do.
And good for you. I hope you have the comfortability to express what you like.
Yeah.
Man, I have people tell me. I have this guy on my OnlyFans, and I have a lot of odd things, but one of the like least odd but still pretty funny, this person's just like obsessed with like belching and farting. I can't bring myself to fart. He wants to know like what I ate, like, ooh babe, my stomach's so full, oh I just ate so much pasta, oh it's made me so constipated, oh my god, like weird shit. But whatever you like, right? And I want to make my people happy, so as long as you're paying me, I can figure out how to get over talking about that. But so he was like, I want you to fart on camera.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, okay. And so we discussed the price.
So how do you discuss this? Are these just DMs?
Yeah, it's just you're just
like,
you
don't hear them. There's no voice.
No.
Okay.
Well, no, I do actually send voice memos to a lot of my people. A lot of these people have like
voice memos on the left.
Yeah, a lot of these people have like management companies, and other people are messaging. I do voice memos with the people that deserve it, so they know it's actually like me speaking to them. But yeah, so we're just like going back and forth. So he gave me the price. I was like, all right, I could do it. And then I set my tripod up, and I go in front of the camera, and I just cannot do it. I can't. Like I'm trying to fart, and it's just not coming out like on the camera. Like I just can't do it. So I'm like, the camera's over here and I'm like bent over and he can't see my face. And I'm like with my mouth. And I'm like, this works for the video.
You're making the fart noise with your mouth.
With my asshole in the camera. And I'm like, this works, right? And then I go back to watch the video and I'm like, no, this shit's just too fake. I just can't do this one. But this is so gross. Why am I saying this? I make a lot of burping videos for him.
That's not gross. It's fine.
It's just weird. It's just random.
That's what people want.
Why you want to watch a hot girl burp? I don't know, but everyone loves it. Like I said, there's like people who really enjoy cum eating instructions. Like they really enjoy eating their own semen off of their bodies. Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, cool. Whole new thing for me.
Okay, man.
Whatever floats your boat.
It's incredible.
Whatever floats your boat.
You invite other girls over to film a girl, boy with you, what's that discussion like? Are they usually asking? Or you usually asking?
No, I'm. It depends. Like if we're all out and it's like good chemistry and we're with like a good guy who like and it just like happens.
Guy.
Yeah, and it just like happens, then those are always fun. But like actually planning them and stuff.
Wait, so you're saying you filmed without planning before?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what people don't know. Like seriously,
so there's like plans, and then there's just like fun.
Can you
and
describe a fun night that ended up with something like that? Like what, you go to a restaurant?
Yeah,
what
like we went out. It was like a good group of us. We went to dinner and then we went to the club and we went to the after club and then we went to strip club and then we came home and we were all just like super lit still. And then we were like, well, let's just fuck. And so then as we're fucking, then we're like, well, let's record it. We might have, hey, we're OnlyFans stars.
Do you do multi-angles or is it just the
yeah.
Okay, so you have iPhone. You have an iPhone up on a tripod.
I have like 4 iPhones going on. Yeah,
okay,
I have one here. I have one here. I edit them like in.
And you're doing 60K. You're doing 60 frames a second at 4K with 4 iPhones. They're all like 12s or 11s or something like that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, my shit.
Like, girl, you're making millions of dollars with this. People want to know. People want to know, right? So that's what you're filming with. And how do your lights set up? You just regular ambient lights?
No, I have. So in my house, you asked what for content, right? Yeah. So I have really big windows, and my walls are the most extreme whitest white that you could have. I don't want any like yellow tones. And then I have these Philips Hue lights, so they can go like 8 million different colors.
So you like 5600 Kelvin. Like you stay around the blue white area.
Right there, yeah. And then I just have additional like ring lights and stuff. But honestly, my house is so bright that I can shoot anytime in my house, and I'm Gucci gang.
Yeah.
So
I was a videographer, so I'm really interested in this.
Yeah.
Right?
So I would just do that. And yeah, it's my little setup on my tripod.
So
my phones.
You had a fun night. This whole thing happened.
Yeah,
you decided to film, and then you have to get releases from all these people, right? For OF, is that what you do? You'll get the releases.
But a lot of the girls, actually all of the girls that I have like boy girl videos with, I already have like girl videos with. So you
already have the release.
Yeah. So I'm not like, hey, let's do this, and then it's not like awkward. Like, oh, can you fill this out? Okay. Like it's already done.
So you ever do girl? You ask the girl to do boy girl. She's like no, and then changes her mind and say yes. Has that ever happened?
Yeah, I had this girl and she was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm scared to do that. I'm like, okay, girl, like it's really not that serious. Yeah. And then I left. I went to go, I had like a facial or some shit, like an actual facial, not like a cum. So I went to my facial appointment and I came back and the guy that was at the house with her, he was like, yo, we just made a whole boy girl video. I'm like, oh, so she just didn't want to like make a boy girl video. She just wanted to like just do it with you. So I don't know, like sometimes people just aren't comfortable, and then they make their way to be comfortable. I don't necessarily know. But
has there ever been a girl the first time she did a hardcore was with you?
No, I don't. Oh, you know what? Yeah. I had this girl. We had a lot of videos together, and she reached out to me. She didn't live here. She reached out to me and messaged me on Instagram when I was working at Rhino, and she's like, yo, I want to be like you. Like, how do I do this? I'm like, who are you? And then I took her out to dinner and I was like, okay, you're cool. And then, we actually made a lot of videos together. And the very first time I ended up doing my girl was with her, and we just got so drunk together and just busted a bunch out. And then maybe like throughout the following like month, our videos got a lot more seamless and actually like comfort. So, but yeah, I was her first.
That's crazy. Yeah. Okay, so that's an interesting.
So there we go. So yeah, I was her first. Actually, I was another girl's first. Yeah, backtrack. I've been a few people's first. Like
you're Nara fucking Ford. Like if girls, like here's the thing, right? I've never smoked weed in my life.
What?
Yeah, if I was gonna smoke weed, I was gonna probably do it with Blazarian at his house, right?
Yeah.
The damn Blazarian's house. Because if I'm gonna smoke weed, I want to do it to be special. Or
I've smoked weed with some cool people.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's gonna know a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna if I'm gonna do mushrooms, I have a buddy of mine who does this is gonna be a special thing.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do that, if I'm gonna do hardcore porn, I want to do it where it's gonna mean something. So I would imagine a lot of girls the first time would be with Nara Ford. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
You're fucking.
Come my way, sweetheart.
You're a fucking unicorn.
Let me pop that cherry.
You're a unicorn. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So now your favorite people to work with are who? And you can name them or name the type of people. Like, who are your favorite people to work with?
Like the chemistry, like I said, I just love the chemistry. You were talking about Tucci. I've worked with Tucci. I love her. My girl Ruhan, she's great.
Tucci's going to be governor someday. I told you that, right? He's going to own a bunch of land. She's going to own a goddamn casino. She's going to become governor of Nevada.
I love her. I've shot with my girl Ruhan. She's super good.
Yeah.
I love shooting with her. We have like, she's the one who I like made come like numerous times. Like we actually have really good chemistry together. I just made this video with my girl Sarah. She's great chemistry too. Like we were in Mexico together and just got fucked up, and it just ended up happening. Why does it sound like I only make videos when I'm fucked up? I'm not. It
sounds like you have more game than any guy I've ever met. That's actually what it sounds like to me.
Good. Yeah, I do.
It sounds like we need to be taking tips from you. You seem like you'd be an incredible wingman.
I was a really good wingman.
Yeah.
When I was in the Air Force, I was a great wingman.
Yeah.
I used to go out with like my friends and I hooked them up with all of the girls. Because I was the girl who was like, I have so many guy friends. Girls don't like me.
Yeah.
So I was always with the guys. And we would go out to the club and they'd be like, what do I do? And I'd just grab the girl and be like, hey.
I mean, look, for guys out there listening, could you imagine like going to a club with Nara Ford and then Nara comes up to some girl and is like, hey, you need to talk to this guy. Like that would be, it would almost be like Obi-Wan Kenobi with the droids. Like, these are not the droids you're looking for.
No.
It's like,
come this way.
You like this guy.
Come over here.
You like this guy over here.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Very nice.
Put some Jedi mind power on them.
So we had Dr. David Buss. He's the foremost evolutionary psychologist in the world. He came on here 2 weeks ago. His episode is going to be after yours.
Mm-hmm.
And he started talking about mate copying strategy in mammals and in Homo sapiens specifically, whereas if you see a guy, so they take a picture of a guy normally, and then you take a picture of a guy standing around a bunch of women, and the women found the guy more attractive when he was around a bunch of women. Another thing that they found was really crazy. It's a study at UNLV. When they showed men pictures of attractive women before they went to go gamble, they bet more money, and their testosterone levels went up. Evolution is a motherfucker.
Yeah,
you really,
it really is.
I would recommend every single book by Dr. David Buss, every single book by Steven Pinker, all the books about evolutionary psychology, where we came from. It's absolutely fascinating. It's really cool.
It is.
And your job, that's it. That's where it comes from, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's not a bunch of like women paying to see men do this, or not nearly to the same proportion as men paying to see you do this.
No, but the men OnlyFans that's a market.
It is a market.
I scroll on my Twitter because my Twitter is just like a whole porn feed, and I'm scrolling and I just see men like flexing their dick. It's bouncing all over. They're like in all these positions, jacking off. I'm like, this is like really a thing now for everyone. Like, we're not discriminating. It's not women only. But yeah, no, I don't think that many women. I don't know. I think maybe the men that are in the OnlyFans market are aware that they're probably mostly viewed by other men.
Yeah, that's another thing that talks about. There's a recent book called The Consuming Instinct by Dr. Gad Saad, who's another evolutionary psychologist, and he talks about how heterosexual men and homosexual men act about the same in strip clubs. They both want to go to strip clubs. It doesn't matter who they're looking at. There's just, the man is a man. You just have high testosterone.
Yeah.
Not as high as Nara Ford.
No, not as high
as Nara Ford, but high testosterone. Okay, is there anybody else? So do you have a favorite photographer? You like shooting with?
Favorite photographer? Yeah, hands down. This is Eames. My poor guy just got his Instagram postponed.
This is Eames, is what it's saying?
This is Eames. He is incredible.
Okay.
He is such a good photographer, and he makes everyone look so good. And he's not afraid to get in the poses. I love people that like when I very first started working with him, I was such a new model, and it's so funny to like look at our photos from like 4 years ago. I think we've been friends for maybe like 4 years now. To look back at that, and then to look at me now, like I was so uncomfortable, and he made my positioning, everything look so good. Like, hands down, he's definitely my favorite.
Arch your back, do the thing with your waist.
Like he'll go and do the pose,
do the
so you're
pose
not
for
like
you.
confused.
So he's one of your favorite. You have any other favorite photographers?
So I'm actually very picky with who I work with. I'm very picky with who I work with. So the whole ENT world thing, that was my first time going to an event like that, because I feel like from what I've seen on like social media, it gets kind of difficult to schedule. Like, I like being about my business. So I want to like schedule a shoot with you, and then you show up. Like, I don't want you to not show up because you're like too hungover from partying the night before. And I feel like that's how like stuff like that is. So
you don't go to any of the destination shoots?
No, I don't. So
unless you throw them, right? Do you ever have your own retreats at your house, or have a bunch of girls come over, or something like that?
So I actually just was holding my first one, and I came down with like a fever. I don't want to say like the flu. It wasn't COVID, but I came down with like a fever the fucking morning of it.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to cancel it. So
I was literally at sushi with a girl who telling me she was going to this thing. That's when I messaged you. Okay, now I remember.
Yeah, I was so sad. I had everything like planned. It was great. All the women that were coming were incredible. And then I had a fever, and so I'm like, well, I mean, people can still like shoot at my place, like, and they can shoot with each other. And I'm like, I just don't want to get anyone sick. One of the people that I told, she was like, I have finals next week. Like, I can't.
Same girl.
Oh,
I think it was the same girl.
Yep. Yeah. So she was like, I have finals. I can't like risk it. I'm like, yeah, I don't think anyone should risk it. And then, yeah, I was like fucked up for 2 days, and then now I'm back to normal.
That's good.
So.
That's awesome. So you don't do the retreats, the Paradise Challenge or anything like that?
No, I've never done them. Like I said, I'm not opposed to it, but
you want a strict schedule.
Yeah, I want a strict schedule.
And those things end up being very organic, and you just kind of meet the photographer.
Yeah.
Although I will tell you, if you ever went to Paradise Challenge, every photographer would just be lined up to shoot you.
Yeah,
like that's what would happen.
I'm sure.
So,
I know. Maybe I should go. Maybe I'll go on one.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about. I know the host of Paradise Challenge. He's kind of a weirdo, but he's kind of.
Maybe
funny.
he'll like me.
Maybe he'll like you. All right. Maybe he'll like you. Maybe you'll win the bikini competition. All right. So here we go. Now you don't. Obviously, I want you to say names. The people you don't like working with. What are the descriptions of like you do this and Nara Ford does not want to fuck with you?
Weird shit. Like people who like brag. Okay, so the other night I went out and there was this girl and she was like, "Oh, where do you live?" And I just moved into into Veer.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, I live in Veer," and she was like, "Oh, I have a house." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I actually have a house too. Like if this is what you're trying to do." And then she was like, "Yeah, well, I told you I used to live in LA, but I actually used to live in Calabasas." I'm like, this is so weird. Like, why are you doing this?
So bragging, qualifying
like,
yourself.
That type of thing, like that really bothers me. And then the next thing that is just like a no-go for me is, like if you have a problem with anything that I do, like I am so good with communication. Like, just come to me.
Yeah.
Like come to me and let me know. Like we'll talk about it.
Honestly, Nara, when we met at the entertainment world thing, I didn't really know anything about you, but when we spoke there, I think Kylie and I were both really impressed because you are really smart. And I didn't know. I honestly never spoke to you before.
People don't know that.
It made me want to interview you, right?
Yeah,
so that's the reason why.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah. So, I really appreciate like a good, genuine connection. So anything that's just like forced or if you feel like you need to like do all of this extra shit, what else are you going to be extra about? There's just so many things that go on in my mind, and I'm like, I don't know.
You probably make a lot of people insecure. I mean, that's probably where it comes from.
Yeah, I am the first fucking person to be like, yo, you look so good. Like, this is great.
For
like,
sure.
People tell me all the time too. They're like, oh my God, like your cheekbones are amazing. I'm like, girl, they're injections. Like I have fake injection cheekbones. Like I have Botox. Like I get my lips done. Like I'm so fast to let a woman know, like, girl, like everyone has fucked up days, and I just like supporting women like that. So that's kind of like what I try to look for. And when people are like super insecure, I had this friend and she's so insecure, and I spent so much of my time trying to, show her how.
Doesn't that suck?
God, that's not my job.
It doesn't, like, I tell, I'll be out on a date with a girl, she'll be like really sad. I'm like, I'm the only person you got to impress. Don't worry about this. I think you look fantastic. Who gives a fuck about what she thinks?
Exactly.
And it doesn't work.
And you just have to keep doing it and doing it. And you're like now finding yourself like, do I need to bring myself down to make you comfortable? And like, that's never the answer.
It's like a neurochemical imbalance.
Yeah. And it's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's great. There's a great book about that called The Happiness Hypothesis by Dr. Jonathan Haidt. Fantastic, where he talks about some people are just like born happy.
Yeah.
Or they're always at a 7. And they talk about people who win the lottery, they go up to a 10, they come back to a 7. It's about people who become paralyzed. They go down to a 2, they come back to a 7. They're always at a 7. And so that's like, some people are just like built to be a certain amount of happiness or have a certain amount of focus or something like that. You can do things to change it in your life, right? Exercises, present moment awareness, meditation, stuff like that, or going to the gym, going to the fucking gym. Like, here's the thing, right? You're probably happier because you accomplish it, regardless of what it is. Do you think that a hominid evolution rewarded the guy who felt sorry for himself sitting in the cave because he tripped and fell, or the guy who went out and killed the meat?
Exactly.
Right? Except today we killed the meat, and the meat is a Lamborghini. Today we killed the meat, and the meat is an NFT. Today we killed the meat, and the meat is 10,000 likes on IG. That's the meat that we kill today. So when people feel sad, I'm like, go do a thing. You do a thing. Evolution is going to reward you with serotonin and dopamine. Yeah, for sure. All right. So you don't like people who qualify themselves. Anybody else that you don't like?
I don't think so. Like, I'm such an open, free-minded person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm accepting of everyone. So it's just like the people that are like super negative Nancy, constantly like putting themselves down. Oh, I hate when a girl is like me and my girlfriend are walking through the mall, and then she's like, oh my God, look at that girl's shoes. Like, why would she wear that? Like, why do you care? Oh my God, I hate that.
Yeah, that's not a good place to put your energy.
Like all of that type of stuff is just that's it for me.
Okay, so the judgmental nature of what you do does not seem to affect you very much.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't care.
So have you what have you received, and like what are some of the kind of stories that you get?
So
and I'm asking you this because you understand there's a lot of women who are going to look up to you because of the model that you are and because of the fact that you're so successful. So in that situation, they're afraid because of the judgmental nature. So what do you do to deal with it, and what have you dealt with?
So I like I said, I really think my time in the military really helped, and I've always just been very confident and secure. I feel like you need to like love yourself 100%, and you need to love yourself more before you're able to love anyone else. And you just have to make sure that you're in a right place. And a lot of people aren't focused on making sure that they're in a right place. So they're worried about what these people that don't know them and aren't going to know them in a year, like they're so worried about, oh, should I do this with my life? What are they going to think? It's like just getting those thoughts out of your head. I don't necessarily know like
it's not
how I did it.
It's
but
not even
just,
in your reality.
It's not like I'm just not thinking about like what other people say. But granted, of course, people are always going to like talk shit, and you're always going to hear, you know, hey, so-and-so said this. And it's like interesting, like, oh yeah, like they said that about me. But then you just kind of keep it in your head and you just apply it. Like next time I see you, like I'm a very cordial person, but like next time I see you, like it's on, no, I'm just kidding. Like next time I see you, I'm just not going to be like as friendly, or I'm not going to like let you into my like life. So I just try to like all of the girlfriends that I have in my life, I just try to constantly like lift them up and let them know like, hey, you're beautiful, you're great, like you're a great person. And I feel like having someone like that in your life is really important. And that's like, I had that, like my aunt is just the most best supportive person ever. So I think knowing that whatever I do, like the people that matter the most are always going to love me, then that's fine. My aunt, she wrote this thing, I have it tattooed on my ribs, and it says, always remember no matter what path you take in life, my love for you is unconditional and forever. And it's just so true. You just have to have people in your corner that are going to be there for you. And, you know, fuck people. Maybe you don't have anyone in your corner. So you're the person in your corner, and you make sure that you're good. And once you're able to do that, then it's so much easier to not worry about all of these other opinions that come in. Like you're missing out on your own opportunities caring about fucking X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. So, Denzel Washington said one time, he said, it's always people who are doing worse than you that are talking about you. It's never people who are doing better. Always remember that. And I love that quote, man. That quote actually, you know, spoke to me a lot, because even when I started doing this, man, the criticism that I was getting, and I was like confused, you know, because to me in my core, I still am a U.S. Air Force officer, right? Yeah. I'm still a retired U.S. Air Force officer. But then I was like, man, am I doing this? Is this the right thing? But then I transitioned to this thing. Okay, this is why I feel good about this whole deal, right? So we did Babes in Toyland charity 2019, and we raised a bunch of money for the Shade Tree, which is a domestic abuse charity right there that's up in North Vegas, right? And when I think about the fact that OF has taken a lot of women, not you specifically, you were dancing at the Rhino, you were having a good time doing that, but a lot of women who were in some fucked up situations.
Saved them.
And saved them. A lot of them.
A lot.
And can you talk a little bit about that? Because to me, net, I don't think people having consensual sex on video is a problem. The only problem is the problem you have. If somebody's having sex with their lawfully married husband on OF and making a bunch of money to put their kids through school, fuck you if you think that you have a problem with that. That's crazy to me.
It's almost 2022.
Yeah, it's crazy. So now, can you talk about, have you seen specifically, because I have with my own eyes, I've seen a girl who was an escort making $3 million a year. And now she doesn't never have to go to a fucking hotel room again. Can you talk a little bit about that? Have you seen that personally with some of the friends that you've had?
I've definitely seen that. And then, I mean, also a lot of these girls out here on OnlyFans are doing a lot of other things. Yeah. So these young girls are like, oh, I look up to this girl so much. She's just the best OnlyFans person. That's what I need to do. I need to bust my pussy open on OnlyFans because that's what she does and she's so successful. No, sweetheart. She lies to social media, and she actually does a whole lot more than that. Right. So it's just all like the social media game, you know, everything's so fake. It just boils back down to like staying true to yourself and making sure you're happy and content with what you want to do. So OnlyFans came out, and now there's all these women who were in a fucked up position, or maybe they were just so depressed working at the gas station or, you know, wherever they worked just to make their lives meet. And then now they're like, well, here's this platform. All of these other women are doing this. Like, I can do this too. Hopefully they have a good support team. And then and then they're able to, you know, start making money for themselves and making money for their families, doing something that, I mean, it's a fun job as long as you're comfortable with it.
Okay,
it's
so
a fun job.
That's the other thing I was going to say. So Kylie Myers, Caitlin Runk, they're doing 7 figures and they don't even show nudity, right? Because they're huge models. So it's what you're comfortable with. Like you're happy doing this.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you want.
I love it.
For it. The first time you uploaded Boy Girl, you were like, what does my asshole look like?
Is my asshole good?
It wasn't like, what does my mom gonna think? It's like, what does my asshole look like? You understand what I'm saying? So this is a temperament for you. This is what you want to do. For some people, they probably go here and they shouldn't be doing this, or it's a situation where I've seen situations before where people will break up and like, now who gets the content?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Or they break up. Now I'm with somebody else, but there's content of me with a different person.
Is that weird for the
Is
next
that weird?
person?
You know, what do I do there? So have you seen situations like that?
No. So like I have a really good sex life. So me personally, like if I ever make any videos with
hypothetical
like
person.
a guy, and then I end up being with another guy, they actually usually want to watch the videos, and I think that's hot. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like, yeah. So it's not really ever an issue for me. However, and then also like all of the guys that like I'm filming with, I'm not paying, like we're just filming, like I'm not paying them.
Right.
But I actually had a girl reach out to me. She called me and she's like, hey, what do you charge people? Like, or not, what do you charge people? What do you pay people to make videos with you? I'm like, I don't. And she was explaining to me how, her boyfriend, like she's actually like in a relationship with this man, and she's like, yeah, like he covers the bills, and then or I cover the bills and he exchanges it with like fucking me on the camera and all of this. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not in that like side of it. So I just feel
That's
it's
crazy.
Yeah. I just feel it's just like a for me it's like it's a natural thing. I'm not out here like.
Yeah, you don't really have to, Nara. I'm pretty sure there's the line would form to the fucking left. Who wants to work with Nara Ford? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that difficult.
Well, like I said, I'm looking for someone to peg. So if you want to,
Can we get a close up? Hold on. Can we focus in here? Or let's get a close up. We'll say it one more time.
I am looking for someone to peg. So if you want my big cock right in that little asshole, hit me up.
All right. That's incredible. That is incredible. That is going to be a TikTok video, and that will be the end of my TikTok. There will be no more TikTok after that.
Oh man, right.
Okay, can we talk about something different, just a hypothetical?
Yeah.
How difficult it is now, because you don't go out that much. I really see you out that much. For somebody dating now, with the incredible amount of exposure you can get on Instagram and on OnlyFans, can you talk about the difficulties of doing that?
So I am obviously a very secure, confident person. So whoever I put myself with has to 100% be secure and confident as well. So no, I never run into any issues with like someone being insecure. Like when I was in the military, I decided I wanted to do Instagram, and I made it up to like 20,000 followers, which was like a lot for someone in the military. For sure. And I made it up to like 20,000 followers, and this guy that I was dating, he was just so uncomfortable with it. He was so uncomfortable with it. And then he made me delete it. Well, he didn't make me. We got into an argument, and I was like, oh, I'll delete it for you. And then I deleted it, and then he blew up. He blew his up. And I'm like, I just fucked myself with the, you know, at this point, 20,000 followers. I'm like, I just fucked myself out of all of this to try to like make someone else happy or accepting with what I'm okay with doing myself. So after that situation, I was like, I like what I want to do for myself is what I want to do for myself. And if you want to fuck with me, that's like on your decision. You are well aware of what I do.
You're like a freight train, and nobody's going to stop you. No. If you come 1 inch off the rails, you're going to fuck up your whole thing. So they can get on the train. Yeah. Or they can get off the train, but you're not going to stop the train. No. That's what it seems like. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, no, I'm also down to stop the train. I'm a really good listener. So if someone has like a great idea, like I can stop my train and listen to your idea and see like how we can, you know.
I will send you some ideas. I probably won't be there, but I will send you some ideas if you ever have some. That's what, okay, now, here's something. You can answer this however you want, because I know a couple girls. I don't know if you're aware of this. Is there anybody you've ever wanted to work with that you haven't worked with before? It would just seem awesome if you could work with them. Because I'm literally about to text them right now.
Yeah, you're like, I'm ready. No, I don't know. Well, Kylie and I were going to work together when she was out here, but
I'm texting
that
Kylie
didn't
now.
work out. No,
So
Kindly.
Okay, anybody else?
Well, it's Kindly Kayla. We were all supposed to do a little something.
Kayla Moody will do stuff with produce.
Bring it on. I know.
Have you seen that?
Well, so the thing, like, I really want to work with them because they're hot, but they were So these are our people who, yeah, right. That'd be a good one. That'd be hot.
Anybody else?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this and get back
Okay,
to you.
get back
See what
to me.
ladies you can pull for me.
Yes, that was my birthday present to you.
Yeah,
you tell me who
love
you
that.
want.
I love that. Yeah, I'll tell you who I want to fuck, and let's see if we can make it happen.
Okay. All right. I can't say the same thing.
No, I know, right?
I may mean it, but
maybe.
I can't say those same
Yeah.
words. I cannot actually say those same words. All right. Beautiful. Cool. I'm going to do, okay. Now here's the thing I ask every guest on the show, because this show is actually about evolutionary psychology and science. That's what the main thing that I want to talk about. Your job actually fits very...
Oh, right in there.
Right in there.
Right
okay.
in there.
So the monogamy as a normal state for human beings. What do you think? Not for you, obviously you have a monogamish, if you had a relationship, it would be a monogamous, because you said you have sex with guys and other guys would watch or whatever. Do you think that monogamy is long-term possible for other people? Do you think it's a problem? What do you think in general?
I feel that that's what society forces onto the belief and the idealism that we're supposed to be with one person. I think there's a lot of people who are with one person and they're with that one person for their whole entire life and they're good.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a lot of people who, like me, like I got married at a very young age and I'm like, oh, this is my husband. No, there's plenty of other people. I was from a small town. Like I just moved to Las Vegas. Like, whoa. So I don't think, and then if I was supposed to keep that ideology in my head and just, so now I'm just supposed to be unhappy and just try to,
right.
Exactly. I'm so far from staying in something to, hope it turns around. Like happiness is key. Mm-hmm. So that's like a main focus for me. I would definitely say that's like the main.
But for other people, do you think monogamy?
Oh yeah, no. So for other people, I don't know. Like do what you want to do. Like like I've been in a lot of polygamous relationships. I've been in relationships where I have a whole boyfriend and a whole girlfriend and they're dating and we're all together. And I love it. I really do. I love it so much. Like with the right girl, it makes sense because shit, like you just become such good friends. Like I had this girl and we were so fucking close. We were so close. And it was just the best thing ever because I had a girlfriend, I had a best friend, I also had a boyfriend. They were dating. Like they could go on a date and then I'll just be at home chilling like on my alone time, or like he goes and does something and then me and the girl are like able to just hang out. So I loved it, but it does not work with everyone. I've tried it with like other people and stuff and it just didn't work. So it's just all back to the energy. You are a fucking
elf princess unicorn. Girl. Like seriously, that's crazy. Like but the level of security, that's amazing.
No, I'm good.
Probably super attractive to be that secure. That's incredible.
Thank you.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself for where I'm at in my mental state.
Are there any things, any causes that you support? I mean, we talked about animals before. Is there anything?
No, there's not like a specific one, but I love like helping people. I love all of that. My biggest thing is animals. Like I am going to have a whole animal sanctuary. Like I'm going to have fluffy cow. You know, when you brush the cows because you take care of them, they get fluffy. Like, oh, I'm going to rescue so many animals. Like I love animals. I love them. So if there's any specific organization that I gear towards, I would definitely say anything with animals.
I'm going to get you involved then.
Yeah.
Because I have quite a few. The Stray Cat Alliance in Los Angeles, the Downtown Dog Rescue out there, the Operation Blankets of Love.
Yeah.
Here we have the Animal Foundation. We have Foster Friday Foundation. But yeah, as far as animal rescue, a lot of people don't realize, man, there's over 100 million homeless animals in this country, and so we need to, that's like getting trapped into release stuff like that is like really, really, that's probably one of my biggest causes. Is that right there. So yeah, I totally can see that.
I'm right with you. Thank you.
I cannot believe I got Nara Ford on here. This is freaking amazing. This went to, so I told her beforehand, I was like, I can't bring up certain things, but she can. She brought up every single one of these things. I'm not
shy.
She is not shy. Like she went above and beyond. We know that she bent over in front of a camera and she goes,
I'm like, what's this?
She made little farting noises. She got probably to $10,000. It's freaking incredible.
It is what it is.
Okay. Now, is there anything else you have coming up, or is there anything, events or anything like that you want to push?
Coming up on Monday, I'm going to this great event with
Hell
you.
Yes,
so
we're doing
I'm definitely excited for that.
Shout out to Mark Chinook and Monday's Dark. They raised $1.4 million for local Las Vegas charities. This is going to be their 8th anniversary. I might be doing the auction. I'm not sure. He hasn't told me yet. And I'm bringing a bunch of influencers. And you know what? I would definitely want to get Nara involved in a bunch more stuff because girls feels like you guys, or any of the influencers, you guys have a superpower. Well, again, one time I took Lindsay Payless. We were hanging out at we did an auction, and it was for Disney World tickets. And Lindsay was over here with her boyfriend, and we're auctioning off the tickets like $400, $500. And I said, "Hey, Lindsay," she goes, "What?" I go, "Whoever wins these tickets, will you go to Disney World with them?" She goes, "Fuck yes."
Yeah.
She starts screaming. $1,200, $1,500, and her boyfriend outbid everybody.
Yeah.
But like, it's a superpower.
It's fun.
It's a superpower where you can take a bunch of eyeballs and point it towards something that's important.
Exactly.
Right? And it's it's a really great example for people to set. Let's use all this attention we get on social media for something incredible. So
I think it's very important when people use their platform for a positive push. Like, there's so many people who use their platform just to be popular on themselves, which, I mean, all for you. Like, I'm a very selfish person. Like, I love myself. I'm going to look out for myself. I think being selfish is in the right terms is good.
Yeah.
So, be selfish for you and use your platform for you, because it's your platform. But if you have passion, like, don't be afraid to use that large platform to push for something else positive other than them big titties you got,
I want Nara Ford to make her own info product. how to do real talk. Kindly told me, she's like, I want to make an info product and teaching girls how to use their OnlyFans.
Yeah.
There is a company, I won't say their name, but they told me we do not want Kindly Myers because she is going to shame us.
Yeah.
She's going to do a better job on her OnlyFans, and our girls are going to ask why. They're like, because Kindly works so fucking hard for her own one. So that's going to be really interesting. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Where can we find Nara Ford on every platform?
You can find me on Instagram, the Nara Ford, naraford.com, OnlyFans /Nara Ford. Twitter is Want Nara, TikTok, Nara Ford Official.
No, we got to do TikTok.
All right.
We got to do TikTok. My TikTok is blowing up.
Yeah,
and then the other thing I was going to say is on her OF. I'm sure, I don't know, but it's probably a lot of Bible study that you have. You read to children.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot of walking dogs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
So I actually open this book. I open it every morning. It's called the Bible. I read it on camera with my no, I'm just kidding. I do a lot on there, you guys. I got my asshole on there, my everything you can fucking want. I just did my first anal video. It's amazing. I do boy girl, and I'm not robbing you. I feel like a lot of girls out here sell like five like 30-second clip videos, or fucking have the audacity to sell like 5 8-second videos, and only one of those videos is like 3 seconds of sucking dick. Like, oh, that is not me. My shit is long. The dick's long. There's a lot of everything. Come on over. And like I said, I need a guy to peg, and I need some pussy to eat.
What the fuck? Oh my God, we're not monetizing this one. No fucking way. We're not on YouTube. That's not gonna work. All right, this is the first time.
We'll have to like bleep all of this out.
No, we're not bleeping anything out. This is her first time on podcast. This is her first time doing a podcast. Because I've never done Well, that's not true. Oh shit, that's not true actually. No, Coffee and Cleavage had me on there. They interviewed me one time.
There you go.
So yeah, man, we're really grateful to have you guys. Like I said, we zigged as far as we could zag. We did Flat Earth last week. This week we've got one of the top creators on OnlyFans in the entire world, Nara Ford. Next week, we've got my man. We've got Vegas Dave coming up. We've also got Dr. David Buss, and we've got Cobra Tate coming on. So I know you guys are pretty excited about that. Gwen Singer is coming on. I don't know if you know Gwen.
I love her.
Gwen Singer is incredible. She has
her own podcast.
She does have her own podcast. Yeah. CJ Sparks is going to come on with me on Wednesday, and we have Brenna Black coming on.
Nice.
Oh man, Brenna Black. I get nervous around her. And we got Sid Wilder coming on. Caitlin Runk said she's going to come on. Jessa Rhodes said she's going to come on. Callie Carter said she's going to come on.
Lots of babes.
Justin Ross Lee said he's going to come on, and then we have a couple other people. I'm probably going to get Dylan Radigan and some other people coming on. So, guys, thank you so much for your support with this podcast. Thank you to all you flat earthers who've called me an idiot for the last 36 hours. I do appreciate you guys. Yeah, shout out. And you know what? We're going to do Flat Earth round 2.
Yeah,
you want to come on? You want to jump on? Okay, so Flat Earth round 2. Dave, if you're watching
Nara Ford.
we have Nara Ford on there. Who else are we gonna bring? We're
gonna bring my girl Sarah. She's right there with me. I got a couple people we can bring, and we can really talk about Flat Earth. We can really get into some conspiracies.
Some conspiracies.
Talk about the reptilian people. Like, I don't know. I don't want.
They just text me. The reptilian people say Nara needs to shut up about us.
Yeah,
Stop talking about us. All right, guys.
Nara, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. This is my first podcast, you guys.
This is a 15 out of fucking 10. This is incredible that she came on here and did this. All right, guys. Take care, and we will see you all next week.
Goodbye.